Hey everyone, welcome back to Walk and Study. Today we will be covering some intermediate and advanced vocabulary words that you are likely to hear or read in the New York Times. All of our examples today come from different headlines that we've taken from the New York Times. While going over these words, we will be hiking in Golden Gate Canyon State Park in Golden, Colorado. Okay, let's get started. Our first word is surge. Surge is a verb, and it means to move suddenly and powerfully forward or upward. Our example from the New York Times is a headline that says, "Retail sales surge unexpectedly in January." So this headline is saying, retail stores saw a sudden and powerful upward movement in their sales in the month of January. Our next word is gear. Gear is a noun, and it means equipment that is used for a particular purpose. Our example from the New York Times is a headline that says, "North Korean in diving gear crosses border into South Korea undetected." So this headline is essentially saying, a North Korean wearing equipment used for scuba diving underwater went into South Korea without being seen. Our next word is eliminate. Eliminate is a verb, and it means to completely remove or get rid of something. Our example from the New York Times is a headline that says, "Los Angeles School District eliminates 1/3 of its police officers." So our headline is essentially saying, a Los Angeles school district has completely removed 1/3 of the police officers that used to work in their schools. Our next word is frigid. Frigid is an adjective, and it means very cold in temperature. Our example from the New York Times is a headline that says, "About 3,500 turtles are rescued from the frigid temperature in Texas." So this headline is basically saying, about 3,500 turtles were rescued from the very cold temperatures in Texas. This article is actually about how people rescued sea turtles from the cold water, which was caused by a large snowstorm in Texas. Our next word is phase out. Phase out is actually a phrasal verb, and it means to stop using or doing something gradually or in phases over an extended period of time. Our example from the New York Times is a headline that says, "Ford says it will phase out gasoline-powered cars in Europe." So this headline is basically saying, Ford says it will stop selling gasoline-powered cars in Europe in phases over the next few years. This article is about how Ford is planning to eventually only sell electric cars in Europe. Okay, our next word is defame. Defame is a verb, and it means to damage the good reputation of someone by saying untrue things about them. Our example from the New York Times is a headline that says, "Woman accused of defaming dozens online is arrested." So this headline is basically saying, a woman accused of damaging the reputation of dozens of people by saying untrue things about them on the internet has been arrested. Okay, our next word is strain. Strain is a verb, and it means to force something to make an unusually large effort. Our example from the New York Times is a headline that says, "Bitter cold strains America's power grids and new storm arrives." So this headline is essentially saying, the very cold temperatures across the country are forcing America's power systems to work unusually hard, and there is a new snowstorm approaching. Our next word is stash. Stash is a noun, and it means a supply of something that is secret or hidden. Our example from the New York Times is a headline that says, "Short of vaccines, states find hidden stashes in their own backyards." So this headline basically says, running low on COVID-19 vaccines, states are finding new stockpiles or reserves of vaccines that no one knew about. Okay, our next word is separatist. Separatist is a noun, and it means a person who supports the separation of a particular group of people from a larger body on the basis of ethnicity, religion, gender, politics, or another difference. Our example from the New York Times is a headline that says, "Catalonia's separatists gain ground despite Spain's hopes." So this headline is essentially saying, a group of people living in Catalonia who support separating themselves from Spain have been more successful despite hopes from the Spanish government that they would not be successful. Okay, our next word is export. Export is a verb, and it means to send things, usually goods or services, to another country for sale. Our example from the New York Times is a headline that says, "Russia offers to export hundreds of millions of vaccine doses." So this headline is essentially saying, Russia offers to send hundreds of millions of vaccine doses to other countries for sale. Okay, with that, we've gone over some more intermediate and advanced vocabulary words that you're likely to hear or read in the New York Times. I hope this lesson was helpful to you all. As always, subscribe below, give us a like if you found this video useful, and let us know in the comments section what else you'd like to learn about or see in our next walk and study lesson. Thanks everyone, take care.